Navigating you through this 60-minute power flow today from Pennsylvania. So thanks for joining me this evening from wherever you are. For today's practice, no props necessary, whatever you typically use throughout your practice, feel free to have that handy. And as always, anytime we go through our practice, just remember to listen to your body and make sure that you modify if you need to or take a break as needed as well. Okay? We are going to get started tonight whenever you're ready in a comfortable seated position on the mat. Let's start with the right leg closest to the body, bringing the left leg in front. For some of you that might be a little bit backwards, but try to hang in there with me. Finding a nice comfortable seat, take a few moments to sway side to side, settling in, evening out the weight in the sitting bones. Sitting up nice and tall. And then begin to settle in here. Hands resting on the knees or on the thighs, closing down the eyes. Coming into your breath here. Taking an opportunity now to let go of the rest of your day, whatever happened before you came to the mat, whatever is waiting for you after off the mat. Try to let it go. Taking this time to tune into your breath and into your body. As you inhale and exhale through the nose, begin to deepen the breath. Maybe you pause here and just focus on breathing, or maybe you create that restriction of the back of your throat, coming into that Ujjayi breath. Take a few more just like that. And then fluttering the eyes open, bringing yourself back to awareness. We're going to take that left leg and extend it out towards the side of the mat, coming into a seated figure four. That right hand plants by the right hip. We're going to sweep that left arm up and over, leaning towards the right arm. Take a little side body stretch here, through the left side body, through the left ribs. See if you can spiral the heart towards the sky. Draw yourself all the way back up to seated, and then turn to face the left leg. Exhale, hinge and fold over it. Now normally this is a pose that we do at the end of practice, so you may not feel completely open and warm to where you normally would be, but just fold in wherever that edge is in this moment, find it. Inhale, rising back up. Bring the right hand back by the right hip again. And this time, we're going to lift the hips up, coming into a modified wild thing. Open the heart towards the sky. Squeeze the glutes. Find a nice stretch across the front side of the body. And then exhale, hips back to the mat. And we'll switch sides. So we're going to draw that left leg in and extend the right leg out to the side of the mat, coming into that seated figure four shape. Left hand plants by the left hip, right arm sweeps up by the ear, leaning, stretching through the side body. If you need to soften into that left arm to get a deeper stretch, feel free. Try to open the collarbones, open the heart. Inhale, back up to seated, turn to face the right leg, and exhale, fold over the extended leg. Again, this might feel a little different than what you're used to. Accept it and breathe in. Inhale, rising back up to seated. One more time, left hand by the left hip. This time, pick the hips up towards the sky. Come into that modified wild thing. Feel that stretch across the front side of the body again. Open up. And then exhale, hips back to the mat. We'll sweep the legs off to one side and make our way into hands and knees, tabletop pose facing the front of the mat. Fingers spread nice and wide, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, belly in towards the spine, gazing down but forward. And as you're ready, moving through your cats and cows, inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, and exhale, round it out, push yourself away from the mat. Back and forth with your own breath. Begin to wake up the spine. Wake up the belly muscles. One more round. And when you're ready, coming back to a nice neutral spine, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back, making our way into our first downward facing dog. So if the hamstrings are still a little tight, maybe you place a bend into the knees, trying to find that extension through the arms, engage the triceps, pull the hip creases up and back in space, and then find some movement, bending into one leg and then the other, walk it out. As you're ready, begin to make your way back into stillness, finding that downward facing dog, strong through the arms, strong through the legs. As you inhale, rise up onto the toes. As you exhale, bend the knees and take them wide on the mat, coming into a crouching position, pressing the heart towards the thighs. As you inhale, we're going to launch forward, bring the shoulders over the wrists. Knees hover above the mat, coming into a hovering tabletop pose. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Press the back of the heart towards the sky. Exhale, back to that crouching position, knees go wide. Inhale, launch yourself forward, stick that hovering tabletop. We'll go through this a few more times. Exhale, back. Inhale, shifting forward. As you shift forward, remember to shift some of the weight into the fingertips and the knuckles. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward to hover. Exhale, back. Just a few more. Inhale, forward. Really pulling up on the low belly here. Feel the core engage. Hover. Crouch. Back and forth. The next time you crouch, pause here. And this time, we'll shift forward, extend the legs completely, come into high plank. Exhale to crouch, knees go wide. Inhale, shifting forward, high plank. Exhale to crouch. As you lunge forward, squeeze the glutes to extend yourself long. Exhale, crouch. Inhale to plank. One more, crouch. Inhale, forward to plank. This time, lower all the way down to the belly, nice and slow with control. Hands by the ribs. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet come to the mat. Inhale, peel yourself up, coming into a low cobra. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, peel yourself up, draw the elbows in by your sides. And exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, coming up and finding that cobra. And exhale, lowering down to the mat. Tucking the toes under, pressing up through plank or table, and back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, walking one footprint at a time, all the way to your forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Pause here, nice long spine. And exhale to fold. Inhale to a flat back, halfway lift. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, begin to rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Samastitihi. Inhale, circle sweep. And exhale, swan dive forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, hands down, feet back, high plank pose. Shifting forward, going through our first chaturanga, lower halfway down. Inhale to a back bend, either cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, one footprint at a time, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, send it right back down. Nice and strong. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, hands down, step back. High plank, forward, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, into your back bend. And exhale, into your downward facing dog. One more, just like that. Gazing forward. This time, walk, step, or hop all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. And exhale to fold. Inhale, earth to sky, rising up with breath, get nice and tall. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down, stepping back. And then forward and down, going through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Gazing forward. Again, walk, step, or hop. Feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale to bend the knees, sink the hips, sweep the arms up by the ears, finding chair utkatasana. So take a moment, settle in. Bring the knees forward slightly, hips back and down. Hug the front side of the body together. Arms by the ears. Pull up on the low belly. Inhale. As you exhale, keep the legs where they are and fold the upper body over the thighs. Arms still reaching forward by the ears. Not resting the belly on the thighs, but rather squeezing the belly in towards the midline. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rebend the knees, reach the arms forward. Find that hovering chair. Inhale, open back up into chair. Exhale, hands to heart. Begin to rise up to standing and come up onto the tippy toes. Firm through the inner ankles and the inner thighs. Try to avoid the ankles rolling out and away from each other. Inhale. Exhale, heels to earth, bend the knees, sink the hips, chair. We'll do that a few more times. Exhale, find that halfway lift in your chair, reaching the arms forward. Inhale, exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, rebend the knees, sweep the arms forward, halfway lift in your chair. Inhale to rise up, chair. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, rising up to standing, coming up on the tippy toes. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Squeeze the outer glutes. Slowly lower heels to earth. Sink back to chair. One more. Exhale, hinging over the thighs. Reach the arms forward. Exhale, hands down, extend the legs, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms forward. Find that halfway lift in your chair. Inhale, rise up to chair. Exhale, hands to heart. And then rise up. High on the tippy toes, squeeze the legs together. And then slowly settle heels to earth. Inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or float back. And go through your flow, meeting in our downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step it all the way through. Left foot spins down at an angle, finding our warrior one. We'll rise up. Draw that right hip back in space. Tuck the tailbone down towards the mat. Shoulders stack over the hips. Arms up by the ears. Take a moment to settle in here. Try to lift up out of the low back. Press out actively through the pinky toe edge of the back foot. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame that right foot, and then begin to extend the right leg. Fold forward, pyramid pose. Still drawing up and back on that right hip here. Feel the stretch all the way down the back side of that right leg. Inhale, halfway, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and flow. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step it through. Right foot spins down at an angle, and we'll find warrior one on this side. So again, left hip back, spiral that right hip forward. Squeeze the glutes together here. Hug everything in towards the midline. Root down through the lower body as you lift through the upper body. Get nice and comfortable here, or as comfortable as you can without getting too sloppy. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to frame that left foot. Begin to lengthen the left leg and fold. Pull that left hip up and back in space. Inhale, halfway. Lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank, forward and down. Go through your flow, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Same flow, movement to breath. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, frame the front foot. Extend that front leg and fold. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, refold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands down, feet back, and flow. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, hands down, frame the left foot. Extend the left leg and fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, hands down, feet back, and we'll flow. One more just like that. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Extend the front leg, fold. Inhale halfway, and exhale, let it go. Inhale halfway to step back, and flow. Left side, left leg up. Exhale, stepping through.
I'm not sure about that.
Spin the back foot down at an angle, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands back down, extend that front leg, fold. Inhale halfway, and exhale, fold. Inhale halfway, hands plant, step back, Vinyasa. We'll meet back in down dog. Gazing forward, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, find that chair. Same as before, we'll start here in our chair. As you exhale, bring the torso over the thighs. Reach the hands forward. And from here though, we'll bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Rest the knees on the backs of the triceps. Lift the hips up, and maybe lift one foot up, and then the other, coming into our crow pose. Gazing down but forward on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower feet to mat. Inhale, rise back up the chair. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back, and go through your flow. Coming back to down dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Find your dancing warrior. Pause here, try to spiral that right shoulder down. Send that left heel down towards the mat as you lift the right knee towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Step the right foot forward. We'll rise up into our warrior one. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And then open out, warrior two. Spin that back foot down all the way. Heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Make sure that front knee is over the ankle or slightly behind it. Hips and collarbones open towards the left side of your mat. Settling into the legs here. We're going to just move the upper body. So as you inhale, flip the front palm, reach up, reverse. So there's a lift and then lean back. Open back out, warrior two. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, flip the front palm, lean back and lift up, reverse. And then find warrior two. One more just like that. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, flip the front palm, lean back, lift up, reverse. And then rise back up, warrior two. From here, sweep that left arm down by your side, rotate up onto the left toes, and find your crescent lunge. All 10 toes pointing towards the top of the mat. Shoulders over the hips. See if you can lift up on that back knee. And from here, optional, maybe you transition the weight in the front foot into just the toes. Pulling back on that right glute, on the right hip. Sinking deeper into the front knee bend. Inhale. Exhale, lower the heel down. Take another deep breath in. Get nice and tall through the upper body. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. And we'll lift the left leg up behind, coming into standing splits. Try to take the gaze towards the back of the mat. Keep the hands on the mat for support, or maybe you take a half bind. Right hand behind the right ankle. Keep drawing up on the right hip, pulling it towards the sky, and actively reaching through the left toes. Inhale, If you have the bind, slowly release. And then exhale, left foot long behind. Rise up through crescent for a breath. And then exhale, hands to mat. Step back and float. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Again, start to square that left shoulder down, but open up through the hip, reach the left knee skyward. Inhale, exhale, step it through. We'll find warrior one. It's a little cozier than the first few times we found it. Settle in for a few more breaths. Find that balance. Inhale. Exhale, open out to warrior two. Back foot spins down. Open the hips, open the shoulders. Sink into that front knee bend. Make sure those hips are tucked underneath the body. Butt's not sticking out behind you. Sink into that front leg. Inhale, flip the left palm. Reverse. Again, lift up and lean back. Keep the deep bend in the front knee. And then rise back up, warrior two. We'll do two more like that. Settle in. Inhale, flip the front palm. Reverse. Lift up, lean back. Reach through the left fingertips. And then open back out, warrior two. One more. First, settle in. Flip the front palm. Reach up, lean back. And then open back out, warrior two. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweep the right hand down by your side. Roll up onto the right toes. Find crescent lunge towards the top of your mat. Squaring the hips here. Tailbone still tucked. Shoulders over the hips. Stay here, or begin to transition the weight into the left toes, coming up into a tiptoe crescent. Slowly release left heel down to the mat. Take a deep breath in, get nice and tall through the upper body. Exhale, hands to mat, lift that right leg skyward, find your standing splits. Again, hands stay on the mat for a stronger foundation, or left hand to the left ankle, pulling the ribs in towards the thigh, lifting up through the right toes and up through the left hip if you've taken the bind. If you have the bind, release. Slowly release right toes long behind. Inhale up for a breath into crescent. And exhale, hands down. Step back and flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. From here, we'll flip our dog. Right foot comes to the mat. Scoop the hips up towards the sky. Open the heart skyward. Inhale. Exhale. Bring that right hand back to the mat and lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale. Cross the right leg to the left elbow. Roll to the inner arch of the back foot and open up into a revolve side plank. Lift up through the left hand. Exhale. Left hand down. Right leg up and back. We're going to do that 2 more times. So bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Flip your dog. Pick the hips up. Open the heart. Exhale. Right hand to mat. Right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale. Tap. Right knee to left elbow. Open up into your revolve side plank. Exhale, left hand down. Right leg up, three-legged dog. 1 more. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Flip your dog. Exhale, right hand to the mat, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee taps left elbow, roll to the inner arch of that back foot, open up, revolve side plank. Exhale, left hand down, keep the right knee in, and step it all the way through. Spin that back foot down all the way, and we'll open up, warrior two. Settle in. Slow the breath down. Inhale. Exhale. Gather the hands at heart. Extend the front leg. And then bend into that left knee. Sink the hips. Arrive in your Skandasana, side lunge. So wherever that is today, hips may be up a little higher. That heel might be raised. Whatever helps you settle in. Try to drive that left knee towards the back of the mat, opening through the inner thighs. Keep the spine long. Hands can be on the mat for support if you'd like. Shoulders back. Heart lifts. One more breath in and out. Inhale. Root all the way up to standing. We're going to plant the feet so the toes are pointing out, heels are pointing in, preparing for our goddess pose. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Try to drive the knees out towards the pinky toe edges of the feet. Hands will remain at heart here. Try to tuck the tailbone, pull the ribs together on the front side of the body. And we'll start by shifting the weight into the right toes. So lift that right heel and we'll pulse. Up an inch, down an inch. As you pulse, again, keep the knees driving away from each other. Should really feel this in the outer hips. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower both heels back to the mat. Pause at center, and we'll move to the left. Come up onto the toes of that left foot, and again, we'll pulse up and down. You don't have to match my pace, but try to keep moving. Again, drive the knees apart. Find the balance. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels down. Turn all 10 toes to pivot to face the front of the mat. Find crescent lunge, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands down. Step back and flow. When you get to down dog, left leg reaches up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Again, we're going to flip our dog. Bring that left foot to the mat. Pull the hips up towards the sky. Open the heart and feel that stretch across the front side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Cross left knee to right elbow. Open up into your revolve side plank. Left leg hovers if you can. Exhale, right hand down. Left leg up, three-legged dog. 2 more. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Open up. Find your wild thing. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Left knee taps right arm bone. Open up, side plank. Exhale, right hand down. Left leg up, three-legged dog. We got 1 more. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Find that wild thing. Exhale, left hand down. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Left knee taps right arm bone. Open up into that revolve side plank. Exhale, right hand down. Keep the left knee into the chest and step it all the way through. Spin that right foot down all the way. Open up, warrior two. Settle in, find your breath. Inhale. Exhale, gather the energy to heart center. Extend the front leg, and then bend into the back knee. Sink the hips lower down into your side lunge. Again, any variation here, hips may be up higher. That base heel might be lifted. Hands on the mat. Whatever works for you. Open up through the inner thighs. And breathe. One more breath. The inhale will pull us up to standing. Pivot the toes out, heels in. And then we'll bend the knees, sink the hips, come into that goddess pose. Tuck the tailbone. Make sure that the knees are pulling away from each other, tracking with the toes. You can stay here, or if you got it this time, coming up onto the toes of both feet, lifting the heels. Try to stand up nice and tall. Slowly releasing heels back down. Find that goddess stance. Inhale. Exhale. Turn all 10 toes to face the front of the mat. Rise up through crescent. Exhale, hands down. Step back and flow. Meeting back in our downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, earth to sky, rising up, reaching up. And exhale, settle thumb tips to heart center. From here, rooting down into that right foot. Left knee draws up into the chest. So finding your balance here, we're going to create hip circles with the left knee and hip. Try to find your balance here. And the next time you bring that left knee back up through center, grab onto the left ankle and pull the left foot to the inner thigh or to the inside of the shin, finding your tree pose. Left toes point down towards the mat. That tailbone's tucked, shoulders draw back. And imagine pulling the outer edge of that left knee back in space. Inhale, root down through the lower half of the body, lift up through the upper body. And we're going to turn the upper body, twisting to face the left leg. From here, left hand comes to the hip, right arm reaches forward. We're going to open up into our half moon balance pose. Right hand down, left leg up and back. Begin to stack the hips when you get there. Open up. Kick out through that left foot. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly release that left leg down, long behind. Inhale, rise up. Reverse your warrior. And exhale, hands cartwheel down to the mat. From here, we're going to step back to side plank. So pivot onto the outer edge of that left foot. You can just step back. Maybe you draw that right knee up towards the sky, or maybe you open up into a big toe hold in your side plank. Wherever you'd like to find yourself. If you have the bind, slowly release. Right arm still reaching up. As you exhale, we're going to lower right forearm down to the mat, opening up to a forearm side plank, facing the left side. So this time, hips are stacked, pulling that left hip up towards the sky. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, left forearm down to join the right. Find your forearm plank. Keep the tailbone tucked. Spread the back of the heart towards the sky. And then slowly lower hips down to the mat. Untuck the toes, find your Sphinx pose. Pull the heart forward. Elbows drop back. Keep the heart lifted and we'll bend into the right knee. Reach that right hand back for the foot or ankle, inside or outside your choice. And then kick the foot away, coming into a half bow. So you're lifting up and then kicking the foot back so that you can open up more through that right shoulder, through the heart. When you really think about it, you don't really need a lot of the weight in the left arm. It's just there for some support. Squeeze the glutes, lift up a little bit more. Exhale, slowly release. Right forearm comes back to the mat. We're going to tuck the toes, pick the hips up, and we're going to press to rewind. So from forearm plank, we're going to move to side plank, right arm down, outer edge of the right foot down, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down, open up side plank, facing the right side of your mat. And then exhale, both hands down, shift forward, lower down, and go through your flow. Gaze forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway, and exhale to fold. Inhale, earth to sky, rise up with breath, and exhale, thumbs to heart. So again, we'll root down through the other side, left foot down, right knee into the chest, and begin finding small circles with the right knee and hip. So try to keep the shoulders pretty square with the top of the mat as you open up through the hip. And the next time that right knee comes in, grab onto the ankle and find your tree pose. Press the foot into the thigh and press the thigh back into the foot. Tuck the tailbone. Just like tree suggests, we're getting a nice strong foundation here. Standing up nice and tall, belly's engaged. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, turn the upper body to face that right leg as much as you can. Right hand comes to right hip, and then the left arm reaches down and forward. We're going to slowly hinge forward, opening up into our half moon pose. Stack those hips when you get there. Spread the left inner thigh towards the right edge of the mat. Kick back through the right heel. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower right leg down, long behind. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down to the mat. Pause here. Right hand stays down. We'll open up side plank. So maybe the left foot steps back. Maybe you pick that left knee up towards the sky. Or maybe you bind, grabbing onto the left big toe, and then pulling everything skyward. Wherever you're at, come back to side plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down to the left forearm. Open up towards the right side of your mat. Find that forearm side plank. Make sure the side body is nice and engaged here. Pulling everything up towards the sky. Exhale, right forearm down to meet the left. Center yourself in forearm plank. Inhale, and then slowly lower hips down to the mat. Untuck the toes, find your Sphinx pose. Pull the heart forward, shoulders back. And then bend into the left knee. Reach the left hand back for the inside of the foot or ankle. And once you do, begin to kick the foot away, coming into a nice strong half bow. using the energy of that leg to kick the foot back and pull yourself up. Open up through the left shoulder. One more breath. And then slowly releasing down. Forearms back to the mat. We're going to press rewind one more time. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Come into your forearm plank. And then bring that left forearm parallel to the top of the mat. Open up. Forearm side plank. Exhale. Right hand down. Side plank. Left arm reaches up. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down, forward and down, going through your flow, and meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, rising up onto the toes. Exhale, hinging forward. Find that hovering tabletop. Knees hover just above the mat. We're down into the knuckles and the fingertips. Spread the back of the heart towards the sky. And then lower knees all the way down to the mat. From here, we'll sweep that left leg up and back, coming into a three-legged table. Pull the belly in. Keep pushing yourself away from the mat. And then as you exhale, tuck that left knee behind the right, coming into a cross-legged position. Try to take the feet out wide to opposite sides of the mat, and then walk the hands in towards the body so you can sit back into your shoelace pose. Adjust where you need to. Make sure the hips are nice and even. Start by sitting up tall. Let's walk the hands to the front of that right knee. And gently imagine drawing that right knee up and towards the body. As you do, you'll notice the outer right hip start to feel a little bit more tight, a little bit more tense. Breathe into that. Slowly release the right knee. Grab onto the fronts of the ankles again, and then exhale, hinge and fold. Again, folding is only an option. You can always stay sitting up tall. Keep a nice long spine here. Inhale, rising back up to seated. And then we'll begin to walk the hands forward, rolling over the knees, uncrossing the legs, and making our way back into table. Moving to the other side, right leg sweeps up and back to that three-pointed table. And then as you exhale, tuck the right knee behind the left. Take the feet out wide to opposite sides of the mat, and walk the hands back towards you as you sit down into shoelace on the other side. And when you're nice and even, sitting up tall, and then hands come to the front of the left knee, and just gently imagine drawing it in. As you draw it in, you're going to notice the pelvis tilt forward, draw the shoulders back, and breathe into that left hip. Slowly release. Hands come back to the fronts of the ankles, adjust if you need to. And sitting up nice and tall, stay here. Or as you exhale, begin to lean forward and fold. And this time, we'll just uncross the legs, extending them forward long on the mat, finding a seat in the middle of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky, almost as if you were taking a back bend here in your seat. Activate the legs, pull the toes back towards the face. Inhale, and exhale, hinge and fold. As you fold here, thinking about coming into that same idea as our chair pose, ribs hovering over the thighs, everything else reaching towards the top of the mat. As you inhale, slowly begin to roll yourself all the way back up to seated. And then make your way down onto your spine. Knees bent, feet down, knees up. We're going to draw that right knee into the chest. And then slide the left leg forward, coming into Ardha Appanasana. Try to keep that right knee in line with the shoulder for now. And then cross the right leg all the way over to the left side of the mat, coming into your universal spinal twist. Allow that right shoulder to soften onto something. And breathe into the low back. Slowly unwind and twist. Draw that right knee back into the chest. And from here, we'll reach the right hand to the outer edge of the right foot or ankle, coming into a half happy baby. Flex the sole of the foot towards the sky as you draw that right knee down towards the earth. Keep extending out through the left leg. And then slowly release, bringing right foot to the earth, right knee up towards the sky. Hug the left knee into the chest. And then slide that right leg forward on the mat. Left knee in towards the left shoulder. Work to close the gap. And then cross left leg all the way over to the right side of the mat, opening up into your spinal twist. Slowly unwind and then twist. Drawing the left knee back into the chest. And then reaching the left hand for the outer edge of the foot or ankle. Find that half happy baby. Make sure that right hip isn't pulling away from the mat. If you want to take that right hand and press it down, feel free. One more breath. And then slowly releasing, left foot down to the mat. Extending the left leg forward to meet the right. Allow your body begin to soften in. The legs relax. The inner thighs rotate towards the sky. Maybe the hands drift down by your sides. The eyelids become heavy, and a general sense of heaviness comes over the body. Taking a deep breath in and sighing it out, finding Shavasana. Feeling free to extend your Shavasana or beginning to reawaken the body. Allow small movements to return at first, and then allow larger movements to return. As you take the arms up overhead, find a nice long body stretch. Hugging the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little rock from side to side, and making your way over to one side, and then finally up to seated on the mat. As you're ready, sitting up tall, hands down by your sides. We'll inhale, circle sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, press the breath out and away. Inhale, rising up, reaching up. And exhale, letting it go. One more deep breath in from earth to sky, breathing in the energy and vitality we've created, and drawing it home to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Taking this energy out into the world and sharing it with everyone you meet. Honoring the light inside and teacher in us all. From my heart to yours. Namaste. Well, thank you for joining me this evening, and I won't see you again until after Christmas. So have a great holiday, and I will see you again next week.